Allie, here we go.
I saw Dr. Thompson introduce Joshua into the world. I was watching this situation unfold.
I just remember the doctor holding up Joshua. All that I kept saying was, why can't I hear him cry?
Here's your grandma, Joshua.
They're not answering me. They're not saying anything to me.
And they whisk him off to another room. You're left wondering what's happening with my son.
And they just said, Alison, we just need to get you into recovery. Everything's going to be fine. And it wasn't until I was in recovery that they brought me the news.
Joshua has a very, very severe disorder, and we're not sure if he's going to make it through the day.
Gene transfer therapy is where a healthy gene is injected into the cells of a patient. Now, the hope is that the healthy gene will actually be able to go in and fix the affected genes.
We're not replacing the gene, but we're adding a copy of the normal gene over the top of the mutant gene.
There's one form of virus called adeno-associated virus, or AAV, that is very efficient at bringing a gene or DNA into our cells.
In this case, the healthy gene is placed on what we call a viral vector.
Think of the viral vector as a molecular taxicab. So this molecular taxicab then delivers a cargo, which would be a healthy copy of a gene, to the patient that has an unhealthy copy.
As soon as you supply that missing piece, the muscle knows where to plug it in, and the muscle just starts to function.
And I remember watching this video, and I just burst into tears.
Mice that cannot walk or are dragging themselves to just days later running around the cage.
This gene therapy really looked promising. Could this be a therapy for my son?
I knew that mice, instead of dying at 10 weeks of age, could live to be a year or more.
But it can be a leap to go from treatment in a mouse to a human. If you had a larger mammal model, perhaps one that naturally gets the same disease, it's a little easier to bridge that treatment gap.
Myotubular myopathy is a disease not only of human patients, but of dogs.
This mutation occurs naturally in dogs too. So we don't cause them to have this disease.
It's very analogous to the human condition. Maybe if we can treat and cure a dog, we can treat and cure a human being.
But how are we going to find a dog with myotubular myopathy?